All right, so hey, who's that handsome man right there? Anyways, let me show you guys one of the funniest graphs I've had in my whole YouTube journey. Okay, it's this is my views and also, of course, my revenue for the month of, well, September entirely. But honestly, this was going on for October too. So completely in the dirt, like not even a joke, bro. I seriously thought both of my channels were screwed because for some reason everything just died. And actually, I'll pull up my other channel here too. So this is my main channel. It's a little bit different in terms of there's actually like some more highs and it's not just completely in the dirt until it spikes up to like millions of views. But the month of September and late August, actually just the month of August, late July, and then September, midway through September was horrific for me, dude. So today I want to talk about the truth with YouTube Shorts in the big 2025. But mainly what I want to focus on is how volatile it can be, right? Because I'll show you guys this screenshot too, which is the revenue for one of my channels. So you can see May and June were pretty decent. July, that's a big drop for me, honestly. August was even worse. And then September somehow came around to be, better somehow and recover a little bit, even though my graphs, my viewership was so bad. Part of that is because it's Q4, by the way. So the RPMs are actually increasing. And let me show you guys the revenue for one of my other channels as well, because this one's even more volatile. So 2.8 in May, 1.1 in June, which sucked, but my first channel picked up the slack there. July, this big August slump, and then September recovered. Now keep in mind, September, this month where I made 3,000 on this channel, brother, this is what brother, this is what the graph looks like $0 for the entire month. And then I had this 1 week period where I made all of it. So it just goes to show you how volatile shorts can be. Okay. I know I'm kind of just jumping into this right now without much of an explanation, but basically the point I want to make with this video is pretty obvious if you guys hopefully get what I mean, which is just that shorts can be very volatile. Now by themselves, these channels generate a decent amount of revenue, right? And I'm working on getting a couple others monetized. I just got 2 more monetized that'll bring me in a small amount of money, and I'm working on getting more monetized, but I'm kind of reaching that point where it's like I gotta start outsourcing some of this stuff or else I won't be able to do everything, which is part of the reason why I haven't been uploading that much on this channel, right? When you take a look at that graph that was completely flatlined for all of September, that whole time, that's me trying to desperately build up other channels as well, because I'm like, holy, I'm getting cooked by YouTube. And so that's what I was kind of talking about in this video, where I said I hadn't been super active on this channel and I want to increase my upload frequency. But first and foremost, since I'm not making any money really from this channel, I got to focus on actually making income, right? You know, I think that's fair. But a lot of these other guys, they have courses or one-on-ones, and that's actually where bulk of their income stability comes from. And so that's what I want to talk about today. But because I'm not doing that on this channel, I don't have that stability, okay? The only thing I had going for me was a bit of affiliate revenue coming from the music deal, Playist, but that's on pause right now. If you're still confused about that, you can watch this video, this update video, if you have not watched that already, because I talk about Playist and like important dates you need to know for the future. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make, if you want stable income, sell a course, do one-on-ones, you know, become one of these gurus, and don't do what I do, because trust me, this is not lucrative, and you just get a bunch of annoying kids who are immature spamming you. That's actually what I get. I don't get money. So let's talk about this a little bit. So YouTube Shorts as a business model is very unstable. Now, I do think that with the right niche, with the right ideas, basically if you're in an evergreen niche, I do think that it can be something that generates you consistent money. But consistent money and stable money are two very different things, I guess. So my revenue kind of varies wildly from one month to the next, and it just depends on if I'm getting screwed by the YouTube algorithm, if I have bad videos that month, or any different number of factors, right? So it can be very unstable, still generating decent revenue, but unstable nonetheless. So the question then becomes, how do we make YouTube Shorts more stable? How do we hedge against this instability? So to me, the answer seems pretty simple. So for starters, you hedge against this by running multiple channels. So for example, let's just say I have 2 channels running, right? And I want to make 5,000 a month. This means that I'm going to need each channel to generate 2.5, right? Well, if I have 5 channels running, then I only need 1,000 each channel, which $1,000 for each channel is really not that much work. If you start to outsource videos once you get monetized, then you can actually continue to grow this. But that's largely where I have problems actually finding people, because just broadly speaking, right? If somebody's really good at what they do, they're not going to be letting you pay them $5 to let you rake in like thousands and thousands of dollars. They're just going to be making the videos themselves, okay? That's just how it goes. That's how it works. So oftentimes when you hire video editors, they're not really going to be able to give you great quality of content unless they're specifically trained up to do that. And even then, it's still not going to be as good as what you can do most likely. And that's kind of where the limiting factor for me is, because I have a specific vision that I want with my shorts, right? When I script them out, when I write the script, I make notations to myself. When I think about the video, I know what I want the video to look like, right? And I can't always implant that idea, that vision into somebody else's head if they do not have it. That can be the issue with outsourcing, okay? But nevertheless, outsourcing is valuable because let's say, for example, you can run 2 channels by yourself and you can make $5,000 each on them because you're just so much better than everybody. Well, if everything's completely outsourced, then you can have more channels. So let's say you have 10 channels. That means that each of the channels only needs to generate 1,000 again to generate the 10,000 a month that you want. But $1,000 for each channel is way less views than $5,000 for each channel. So the video quality content can be worse because you're running more channels. So that's just something to think about. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel here, but that's essentially how you hedge against instabilities. So for me personally, I always had my 2 monetized channels, and I just recently monetized 2 more. I don't think that they're going to be major cash cows, but they are completely outsourced. So as far as that goes, I'm all the way down with that because essentially it's just passive, pretty much. It's mostly passive, right? Maybe like 15 minutes of work a day. Another thing is that you should be using the first channel as a trampoline or a springboard. And you can even view what I'm doing right now as me using a springboard from my first channel, right? Like, because I was successful on my first channel, I was able to not only create a second channel, but I was also able to create this long form channel where I help other people. I established a community of other creators, YouTube creators, and I'm continuously learning, right? There's something that you can learn from everybody. So even if you don't think that you can learn something from somebody, trust me, there's something there. You got to have an open mind to everything. And so with my community, a lot of the times, whether somebody's making more money than me or less money than me, there's always something I can learn. And so in that process, I'm getting better at this short form content creation as well. And even though the AdSense on this channel sucked, I was actually making a decent amount of passive income from the affiliate on Playist Music Deal. And by the way, that is why all of these guys shill for their respective music deal companies so hard, because they get an affiliate kickback. A lot of the people in this space like to claim that they made like 10,000 from music deals in like a month, for example. And I'm just letting you guys know that's all coming from affiliates. I mean, not necessarily, because with Playist, you were actually making a ton of money. Hopefully they come back. But with these other music deals that are like lower RPMs, it's going to be extremely hard to make 10,000 a month from adding their music. All of these guys are inflating their numbers by claiming their affiliate with the music deal company is actually their earnings with the music deal company. And if you don't believe me, all it takes is one video. Just go to Bennett's channel. You can watch. I'm pretty sure this is 65,000 straight up from music royalty affiliate earnings, because his channel is so big and he affiliates so many people to Blast Off. So that's why people shill so hard for the music deal. No hate. That's just how it is. It's one of the most lucrative, passive, completely passive forms of income. And I could go deeper into that, talking about that, but for right now, we're just gonna leave it. And speaking of affiliates, if you were using Playist or another music deal and you want to use something else in the meantime, the one I'm currently using is the Luna. Hey everybody, Max from the future here. I recorded this video like a week ago, so obviously it was before Blast Off like shut down or went on pause or whatever. So with the Luna, if you guys are interested in using it, you will only get accepted right now if you're in the YouTube partner program and actually monetized already on YouTube. I know it sucks, but I talked to the owner. He's not going to be accepting mass amounts of people after all of the music companies have pretty much been shut down or paused or whatever. So he's trying to protect his own platform because it's still up, but obviously he doesn't want it to go down. Right now, the Luna is in good standing still, but YouTube is obviously cracking down, as evidenced by the last month or so. So do not even bother applying if you're not part of the YouTube partner program. But if you are, then check the link in the description. And they have a 70-30 split. So obviously the RPMs aren't as high as Playist, but nothing is as high as Playist. Playist is a one of a kind, G. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up in the link below. And just for full transparency, that is my affiliate affiliate link. So anyways, what were we talking about? Using YouTube as like a trampoline? Oh yeah. So basically what I'm saying is like to incorporate that stability, a lot of people launch their own courses. They launch their own one-on-ones, which I'm not completely averse to, but my God, sometimes like I've taught enough people in my life and I know that teaching people, if I actually did something like that, I would want to provide value and actually help out people. And to do that, it requires so much like one-on-one time. And I'd have no free time if like 50 people join, you know what I mean? Because a lot of these people who do the one-on-ones and who do the courses, they don't actually help out people. They have a very cookie cutter method of approaching things. And it's not so much of a one-on-one actually. They're just there, but that does provide a huge amount of stability for a lot of people. So be thinking about ways that you can expand your income streams to have more stable income. And then you also want to treat YouTube like a business, and you should be reinvesting into yourself and your channels. Like for example, I mean, to this day, I barely spend any money I get from YouTube. I'm just that type of person. I'm a very modest with my money generally. I mean, I buy some clothes sometimes, but even then, not really. I buy clothes and food. That's it. And that's what I just keep going with. You know what I mean? I don't really care about cars. I don't care about anything like that really right now. I take risks with my money. So I'll pay somebody $200 to do something. You know, I'll pay somebody $200 to make this video to see and to learn. And I believe in the long run, that'll really give me an advantage because I'm taking risks, and obviously it's calculated risk. Like I'm not going to spend $5,000 to do something, but if you want big breakthroughs, sometimes you have to take big risks. You know, if you play it safe with anything, it's going to be pretty hard to make tons of money. You can make good money, but I'm just saying to get to that next level, sometimes it requires you to take a risk, you know, start the business, etc. Anyways, I'm just yapping. I'm pretty sure I touched on most of what I wanted to talk about. Basically, YouTube Shorts can be volatile, okay? It's not a secret. The best way to actually stabilize your income is number one, if you really like YouTube, double down on YouTube, diversify. The more income streams you have from YouTube, the more channels, the more likely your income is to be stable. If all of your income is coming from one channel, from one basket, if something goes wrong with the algorithm that month, you're cooked. You can see from the first graph that I showed in the beginning of the video, I made like no money for like 29 days out of the month, and then the last like 2 days parabolic. So that's just how things work. If you have 10 channels, the income becomes more stable. Also, starting up different income streams, starting up streams that are separate from AdSense, right? And I look into this is something that I brainstorm this so much because I'm constantly trying to figure out ways that I can actually make money other than YouTube because I suck at everything else. And so some people are successful with taking the money that they make from YouTube and putting that into drop shipping and then using their skill to go viral to make YouTube videos about their drop shipping store. I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure we even got one person in my Discord who's doing like 100,000 a month from drop shipping and making organic content on YouTube. So people have definitely done this. And then, you know, if you're good at something, start up a channel like mine, you know, make videos that actually help people out, and you might be able to do affiliate deals, stuff like that. Right now I got kind of cooked, but basically in the future, I kind of am sitting on a gold mine. That's the way that I see it, is like, you know, I'm building up this community of people. And the difference is the reason why we grew relatively fast is because I'm actually providing value. That's why I don't really like a lot of these people who come into the space and they instantly are trying to like sell their course and sell their one-on-ones. I think it's lame. For me, I would want that to be my last resort, right? If my income got completely nuked, which it was during the month of September until like the 28th, I was like begrudgingly like, oh, maybe I'll do a course, maybe not a course, but I was like begrudgingly thinking like, oh, maybe I would do like a one-on-one program or something like that. But I'll say this again and again and again. I mean, the amount of value that I put into all of my videos, if you just go through and binge all of my videos, you'll be like ahead of 95% of people, and you actually take action on it. You can get better value out of just taking action and watching all of my videos than actually doing a one-on-one with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are just in it for the money, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with liking money. I love money, okay? But when it comes down to it, my goal wasn't to solely enrich myself off the backs of others. You understand the difference? Whereas a lot of these other guys are really just, I mean, I don't know what the correct word is, like snake oil salesmen. They're just here to purely siphon money away from the community. I want to make money, but honestly, making money that way is one of the lamest ways you can make money. I really dislike people who do that. I think that's just so lame, honestly. I don't, and look, I get it. I understand that people are trying to make money and provide an income for themselves, and I'm not even completely averse to it myself, but I will say like 99% of the people in this space who do like these one-on-one things or these courses, they're just total like, just forget it, bro. Okay, all right, I'm yapping too much, but I hope this video makes sense, and this is why like people build up multiple income streams to avoid the volatility that comes with YouTube Shorts. Hope this makes sense. Hope this helps some of you guys out, and peace out.
All right, so I'm currently at my dashboard on smmshiba.com. And do not get confused by the website names. SMM Shiba and SMM Dodge are actually the same website. So all you have to do once you've created yourself an account here is to go on list, click on this category icon, select, and here you want to select something, basically any option that says from with video. So I'm going to choose this one right here, and this should be already fine. 2014, 2017, yeah. Now I'm going to click on buy, confirm, and now you can go onto your product orders and you will see this is pending. All right, the order is now completed. This didn't even take 2 minutes. What you want to do now is you want to copy that ID, and we want to be organized, right? Especially if we have multiple channels, you will not find them again. So make sure to save it somewhere.